Good morning. My name is Dele Ayimibo, and you're welcome to another edition of Import Export Platform Facebook Live from 3 Press Trade Academy. And this morning, we'll continue our conversation discussing the packaging, starting and managing export business, part 22. And today we are looking at packaging. We started discussing packaging yesterday. And discussion yesterday, we basically were discussing the fact that packaging become extremely important and essential for different products, and that if packaging is taken seriously and done the way it should be done, that then at the end of the day, become a lot easier for such an export project to be successful. And we looked at different material used for packaging. We looked at a number of them yesterday, and what I will try to do this morning is to continue from where we stopped. I think I discussed glass extensively yesterday. Today I'll be looking at metal. Metal have different options. Metal is the most versatile of all packaging forms. It offers a combination of excellent physical protection, barrier properties, formability, and decorative potential. It's recyclable and it has consumer acceptance. The two most commonly used metal are basically aluminum and steel. When you think of packaging, there are two commonly used metal for packaging, and they're basically aluminum and steel. Those are the two commonly used metal, aluminum and steel. Now, aluminum and steel. Commonly used to make can, that's aluminum now, commonly used to make can, foil, laminated paper, or plastic packaging. Aluminum is a lightweight, silvery white metal derived from bauxite ore. Why it exists in combination with oxygen as alumina. Magnesium and manganese are often added to aluminum to improve the strength properties, so it becomes an alloy. Unlike many metals, aluminum is highly resistant to most forms of corrosion, and that's very important in food processing. You want to avoid corrosion as much as possible. Why are you avoiding corrosion? You want to ensure that you don't have reaction. You know what happens in corrosion is more like oxidation of the iron. It happens in iron a lot, and then it becomes iron oxide or ferrous oxide. So what you're trying to avoid as much as possible is interaction between the food and the stuff you put inside. Remember, this is supposed to be eaten by people. You don't want to give people food items that will eventually become poisonous to them because of the nature of what you're using for the packaging. So it's extremely important you're careful the kind of packaging material you're using for the people. Unlike many metals, aluminum is highly resistant to most forms of corrosion. Natural coating of aluminum oxide provide a highly effective barrier to the effect of air, temperature, moisture, and chemical attack. Besides providing an excellent barrier to moisture, air, odor, light, and microorganisms, aluminum has good flexibility and surface resistance. And this is very, very important and crucial. Remember, we are talking about food, and because it's food, you want to ensure that at the end of the day, you do not, and the challenge is, if you do, what you will have basically done is if you do, what I mean is doing in sense that you are giving people food that is not safe, is not that is making people eat it and become sick. What basically happens at the end of the day is that it becomes very difficult, very, very difficult for you to be able to sell further. Because if you sell once and the people that bought it are having issues, or if it's in developed world, let's say UK for example, sometimes when this thing arrive at the destination and the person put it in the store, they come back to check and say, it's not like they will do it once and There's continuous spot check of this product, such that at the end of the day, if they found out that the product now is not fit for consumption and it's still on your shelf, they will not just destroy it. The person selling will pay to destroy it, and he will still pay a fine. The person will pay to destroy it and will still pay a fine. And that can be you don't want to find yourself in that kind of situation. You don't want to find yourself in that kind of situation. You don't want to find yourself in that kind of situation, because at the end of the day, it becomes very difficult for that person to want to buy another one from you. You understand? It becomes very difficult for that person to want to buy another one from you. So you don't want to find yourself in that situation at all. At all. I was talking about the fact that, beside providing an excellent barrier to moisture, air, odor, light, microorganism, aluminum has good flexibility and surface resilience, excellent malleability and formability, and outstanding embossing potential. It is also an ideal material for recycling because it is easy to reclaim and process into new product. Pure aluminum is used for light packaging of primarily soft drinks can. That's where you get to find it. Soft drinks can, pet food, seafood. The main disadvantage of aluminum is its high cost compared to other metal, for example, steel, and its inability to be welded. Inability to be welded is a disadvantage, which render it useful only for making seamless container. You can't weld it, so you can't form it into different shapes, So a good example of this is aluminum foil. Aluminum foil is made from rolling pure aluminum metal into very thin sheet, followed by annealing to achieve dead folding properties, which allow it to be folded tightly rather. Moreover, aluminum foil is available in a wide range of thickness. This with thinner foil used to wrap food and thicker foil used for tray. Like all aluminum packaging, foil provides an excellent barrier to moisture, an excellent barrier to air, an excellent barrier to air, odor, light, and microorganism. And those are the things you want to prevent: air, odor, light, microorganism. It is inert to acidic food and does not require any other protection. Although aluminum is easily recyclable, foil cannot be made from recycled aluminum. So when you're recycling aluminum, you can't make foil. You can still make the can, but you won't be able to make foil again from a recycled aluminum without a pinhole. That means when you recycle aluminum, you have a pinhole, you have pores inside. So it's not entirely protecting the way it was protecting before. It's not entirely protecting the way it was protecting before. We have laminate and metallized film. Laminates and metallized film. Lamination of packaging involving the binding of aluminum foil to paper or plastic film to improve their barrier property. So you can laminate aluminum foil in the packaging process. And look at how it works. Thin gauges facilitate application. Although lamination to plastic enable heat sealability, the seal does not completely bar moisture and air. Because there's nylon, if you use plastic, so that means with heat it can seal up. But it cannot completely be resistant to air and moisture. Because laminated aluminum is relatively expensive, it is typically used to package high-value food such as dry soup, herb, spices. A less expensive alternative to laminated packaging is metallized film. Metallized film are plastic containing a thin layer of aluminum metal. These films have improved barrier properties to moisture, air, and odors. An highly effective surface of aluminum is, and the highly effective, reflexive surface of the aluminum is attractive to consumers. So it makes it attractive. It makes it attractive. More flexible than laminated film. Metallized film are mainly used to package snack, although individual components of laminate and metallized film are technically recyclable. The difficulty in sorting and separating the material will include economically feasible recycling, because now you have to sort the plastic from the metal, the plastic from the metal. Then we have tin plate, also known as electrolytic chromium or chromium oxide, coated steel. Tin-free steel require a coating of organic material to provide complete corrosion resistance. Even though the chrome or chrome oxide makes tin-free steel unsuitable for welding, this property makes it excellent for adhesion of coating such as paint and ink. Like tin plate, tin-free steel are good formability, good strength, but it is marginally expensive. Wow. Sorry, I'm having an issue with my phone. So sorry for the confusion. Sorry, I'm improvising here and my phone fell off. It's marginally expensive. Sorry, marginally less expensive rather than tin plate. Food can end trays, bottles, cap, and closures can all be made from tin steel. In addition, it can also be used to make large containers for bulk sales and bulk storage of ingredients or finished food. You know why we're going through this? We're going through this because of how it has become extremely necessary and important for us to package, not just for marketing, but for protection against, remember, moisture, air, odors, and microorganism. Let's look at plastic. You know, plastic have different variants. I mean, so many variants. So many variants of plastic. Then we also look at paper. I'm not sure we can finish plastic this morning. Let me see how much plastic we can discuss this morning. Plastic are made from condensation polymerization or addition or polyaddition of monomer unit. In polycondensation, polymer chain grow by condensation reaction between molecules and is accompanied by formation of low molecular weight byproducts such as water and methanol. Polycondensation involves monomers with at least two functional groups such as alcohol and amine carboxylic group. In polyaddition, polymer chain grow by addition reaction, in which two or more molecules combine to form a larger molecule without liberation of byproducts. Polyaddition involves unsaturation polymers, double and triple bond are broken to link monomer chain. And what happens at the end of the day is that you have different kind of plastics. The first one I'll be talking about is polyolefin. Polyolefin is a collective term for polythene and polypropylene, and the two most widely used plastic in food packaging and other less popular olefin polymers. Polyethylene and polypropylene both possess a successful combination of properties, including flexibility, strength, lightness, stability, moisture, and chemical resistance, and easy processability, and are well suited for recycling and reuse. Well suited for recycling and reuse. The simplest and most inexpensive plastic made by addition, polymerization, and ethylene, polyethylene this is the simplest, rather. This is the simplest and most inexpensive plastic. I'm talking about polyolefin now. There are two basic categories of polyethylene: high density and low density. High density polyethylene is stiff, strong, tough, resistant to chemicals and moisture, permeable to gas, easy to process, and easy to form. It is used to make bottles. That's why you have PET bottles. Bottles for milk, juice, water, cereal box liner, margarine tube, and grocery, trash, and retail bag. Low density polyethylene is flexible, strong, tough, easy to seal, and resistant to moisture. Because of low density polyethylene is relatively transparent, it is predominantly used in film application or in application where heat sealing is necessary. Bread and frozen bag, flexible lid, squeezable food. I'm coming. Squeezable food bottles are examples of low-density polyamine. Polyethylene bags are sometimes reused. Often two categories of polyethylene: high-density polyethylene especially milk bottles, are most recycled among plastic packaging. I need to go now because of I'm having to meet and discuss with someone. We'll meet in the evening as I continue the discussion on packaging. And we'll still be discussing plastic. Thank you very much for listening. See you in the evening. Bye for now.